pushing it. Oh, okay. Hey, can I get a couple brothers to move these tables, please? Two more brothers, please. Move these tables. All right, hallelujah. How y'all doing? Doing all right? Good. All right, good. This is very informal, okay? All right, very informal, and then we are going to keep it plain, okay? All right, keep it very, very plain. One thing I want to go over before we get started here, in case people don't comprehend and know how we do things in the ministry, especially when it comes to marriage relationships and developing relationships, or if you're interested in wanting to have a betrothal, someone to be betrothed to. Everything that I do in this particular ministry, I always try to lead by example. Even though I don't have anybody that I really truly have to be accountable to, or you follow me, I actually make myself accountable to the elders. All right, so if you see me doing something or if something is going on, I've already have either Elder Doug or Elder Rufus that already knows exactly what's going on, the intentions of it, everything, because it's good to have accountability in everything that we're doing. Am I making sense? And the reason why we end up getting in a lot of trouble is because we don't want accountability. All right, we take it as micromanaging, we take it as somebody getting in our business or something like that, but, you know, if you're in Israel, your business is our business. All right, we all don't live in glass houses. Is that right? And we don't want to know what's going on in your bedroom. But outside of that, when you come into the public forum as far as Israel, you know what I mean, we actually really, truly need to be accountable to each other. And the one thing that I always do, and I live my life in this manner, to take away the excuse. You hear that? In other words, when you see me living, you see the way I do, I take away your excuse. You have no excuse for being inadequate. You have no excuse for not being righteous. You have no excuse for going out here and practicing sin and living in sin. Is that making any sense? Because I'm showing you that it can be done. Are you following me? Showing it can be done. But I often mention, I mentioned once, I mentioned 1,000 times, it's amazing with you brothers that what we have is we have a whole bunch of sisters that are allegedly being converted to the truth, but none of y'all ever minister to men. Did y'all hear what I said? And the reason being is because you have there's a good lust and there are bad lust. You know, you follow me? And some of you got bad lust problems. You got bad lust problems. Are you following me? You don't know how to control yourself. And if you have a bad lust problem and stuff, you don't feed it by continually getting yourself in more trouble with lust. You understand what I mean? Yes, sir. I mean, I've got people here on the land. I'll give an example like Deacon Bell. Before he got married to Sister Ashley. Where you at, Deacon Bell? You in here? How long was you betrothed to Sister Ashley before you actually consummated? How long? How long? And you can't even wait 1 month. You can't wait 1 month. Are y'all listening to me? Yes, sir. You can't wait 1 month. And then but again, we can see a strong relationship, a strong family like that, and we look at that, and it doesn't register in our mind that was done the right way. And then we wonder why those of us that are married, why we have so much trouble in our families. It's not because of the women, it's because you're not right. Are you hearing me? The problem is you. You're the one that's not right. Brother Brent, how long you been betrothed to Tia? About a year now? About a year now. Isn't that something? A whole year. How old are you? 26 years old. Huh? You don't think he want to get it on? Are y'all listening to me? Yes, sir. You don't think he want to get it on? Sure he do, and she does too. You follow me? Successful. We have a blueprint the way we do things, and it works. All right, my newest child, I actually spoke to her for probably about 6 months. Didn't even see her. talked to her over the phone and stuff like that. And anytime I wanted, I could have easily got on a plane, jumped to California, went out there and consummated. Are you following me? Yes, and then when I did see her, we consummated. And from that time, I've been doing nothing but actually pouring into her. All right? And also getting things out of her. Very active in deliverance. How many of you on Sons of Jacob? You don't ever see me when I actually even put her on there talking about when we had deliverance, what we're going through. You're going to have to become proactive in your families because, see, the strength of Israel starts with the home, the family unit. It starts with the family unit. Are you following me? Now, believe it or not, there's a scripture verse in there that says, be sure that your sin is going to find you out. One day, your sin, if you're hiding and running dirty, it's going to come to the forefront. It will come to the forefront. Maybe a year, maybe 2 years, maybe 3 years. But you have to understand, we have a duty and obligation to the Most High Yah. Are you following me? We have to stay righteous here because if we don't guard our particular house here in righteousness, then sin is going to destroy us. And the Most High Yah is going to remove his hand from us. And we can't have Yah to remove his hand from us. So if that means get rid of you in order to make sure that the whole is taken care of, we have no trouble, no problem doing that. Are you following me? We have sisters here that their husband got kicked out of the ministry, ain't even invited to the feast, but they was able to come. The husbands even know that their women is righteous. They know that this ministry is righteous, but we kicked their ass out of the damn ministry. And they actually even wanted to come to the feast. I told him, not no, but hell no, he can't come to this damn. No! You get it? Righteousness exalts a nation, but sin is a reproach. Sin is a reproach. Are you following me? And in communities, I know it sounds crazy, but it's just the truth. But in communities, all these issues and troubles and marriage problems that y'all have, they're almost non-existent on communities. Men are usually able to take care of what's going on in their own house, their own self, because they're in their role, the woman is in their role. Now, the way you go about getting a wife, all right, is that if you're close to a home fellowship, if you're close to an elder in some other region or something like that, or a pastor, all right, follow me, you make it known to them who you're interested in. And then we approach the woman. Are you following me? And it's totally up to her to say yay or nay. All right? And she's not saying yay to marriage. She's saying yay to entry or being interested. Very, very few women of marriageable age actually turn around down marriage. And we have people that get married from as young as 19, 20 years old on up all the way till my age. However old that is. We're not trying to prevent people from being married. What we're trying to do is we're trying to stop the blood from pouring out so dang bad, because we're going out making bad choices and decisions. Am I making sense? Yes, sir. You got to keep yourself. If you love y'all, you have to keep yourself from sinful environments, sinful places, and doing sinful things. Am I making sense? Yes, you're going to have to do that. And the more that you become righteous with y'all, the stronger you will be as a man. Am I making sense? You're really strong, like an ox strong when it comes to righteousness. Are you getting it? So we wanted to address that, and we wanted to make sure we go over this stuff so we can stop all this foolishness that you bring over from the world to here. Are you following me? And some of you know that I don't toy with. Some of you sitting in here know I don't toy with you and play with you. Are you following me? Now, I love each and every last one of you. I promise I do. I do. But, man, if you running dirty, you ain't getting things right, man, I'm telling you, we believe in judgment. Righteous men love judgment. Did you hear what I said? Be it right or wrong, righteous men love judgment. All right? So rather than me actually getting up here and giving y'all a lecture and stuff, I'm going to actually open it up for questions because it's a little bit more intimate. Because that's what I usually do when I go out and stuff. Rather than lecturing for an hour, I open it up for questions and answers. All right? And then what we'll do is we'll use practical examples, but it's a little bit more intimate because we actually get to address what your concern may be. There's nothing that you can ask that is considered to be an embarrassment. You know why? Because there's no temptation except that which is common to man. One person may have not dealt with or struggled in one area or something like that, but another person probably has. You're not unique. You may be unique in your own right, but you're not unique. Are you following me? So we talk as men, we deal as men, and we live as men. Is that all right? Yes, sir. All right. So if anybody got a question about anything in reference to it, let's go with it. Come on, brother. And about somebody going to run mic for me.
In Christianity, they have their idea of what betrothed is being, how you act. I'm pretty sure that they probably got that screwed up. And most of us being coming out of Christianity probably got that screwed up. So how do godly men of Yah act righteous when they are with their betrothed, either alone, or they shouldn't be alone, or that kind of thing? If there's no fellowship around them, how do they act responsibly, godly, and with honor, and what would be considered religious, rhetoric?
Okay, there's no such thing as dating in Israel, all right? And you should never be caught alone with a woman by yourself, especially a married woman. Are you following me?
Yes, sir.
You should never, ever be caught with a woman. Even if you are betrothed, you shouldn't be by yourself. See, we learned this from the Gentiles, and then we end up getting in trouble. Are you following me? If you expect to start off in marriage and have a good, honorable marriage, and you want your woman to be honorable, you got to start that way. Am I making sense? You literally got to start that way. First of all, when you are betrothed, rather than looking at her as your potential wife, why don't you start off by looking at her as your sister? No, for real. Because if you start off looking at her as your sister and dealing with her as a sister, then you remove all the other stuff that could bring interference. Now, making sense? And so here at Straightway, they don't spend time alone. They don't start off walking down the streets hand in hand and all this other stuff. But everybody does everything. If they're sitting and they are speaking, it's out in the open. It was what, Brother Brett, probably about, maybe 6 months or something like that before I even let you drive to town with Tia. It was a year. Drive to town. How long was it before I let you sit at the table with her? Over a year. You see what I mean? Why? Because first thing, we're seeing if you really truly want a wife. Because the Bible says when you find a wife, you find a what? Then why you treat her so bad? Why you treat her so bad then? That making sense? See, y'all hear me and y'all see me and y'all see the optics that I do with this hollering and screaming and stuff, and you may translate that I deal with my wife like that or my Ishai's like that. At times I do, but at times, but the majority of the time, 99% of the time, I'm very gentle, very loving, and very kind. Because you know just as well as I do, they can change and digress in a minute. Is that right? Is right. So in our betrothal phase or stage right here, what we actually do is we're watching, but we're not watching. We're seeing if you have any honor and respect for her, and if you are really truly worthy to even have her. Because when a man finds he finds and don't you want favor from Yah? Yes, sir. Huh? Don't you want favor from Yah? Yes, sir. Huh? Well, you've got to be able to see her the way Yah sees us, as the apple of his eye. Am I making any sense? See, you got to change the way you approach things. You've got to get rid of the Gentile mindset. And this word that's in them pages of that book has got to get off that book and get into your heart to where you don't have to run around quoting it. You can see the word because of the way you live. Am I making any sense? Good thing and attains favor with Yah. So first deal with her as a sister, not a sister that you potentially can't wait to get into the boudoir. Because after you get finished consummating and stuff, you don't know how many times that men consummate with women. Some of you damn jackleg players, same thing. You thought you love a woman. You went out there, you consummated, you went out and had sex with her, and the next day you know you're tired of her. Ain't that right? And you're going to try to bring that same old attitude and that same approach into this. And that's the reason why we take our time. Because we got time. We have time. Well, I'm burning. Yeah, if you burn, you're supposed to do what? Get married, right? Huh? It don't give you a time frame when to get married. You first learn some self-control. Y'all getting it? Yes, sir. Learn self-control. So starting off, let the elders, pastors, and all them tell you when you're ready to actually sit down, walk around, and talk to each other. You start off that way, you do it the right way, and then you'll have a match made in heaven. You hear me? It's crazy. All my shires, right? They tell me everything. They tell me if a brother look at them sideways, if somebody approaches them the wrong way or says something to them the wrong, they tell me everything. And then I determine what I'm going to do about it from that point. Are y'all hearing it? Yes, sir. That's the way you should be with your wives. You are a protector of them. Are you following me? Yes, sir. They should be able to communicate with you openly without you pouncing on them and getting on them. All right, so since we're on this, let's talk about this part of the relationship and marriages right now, okay? One of the biggest problems we have is that most of you want to do an investigation on the women that you're either potentially betrothed to or the woman that you're married with. You want to know everything in the world about their past, but you can't handle it. Are y'all listening to me? You don't know everything, but you do it under guise. Well, I'm here to help you. I'm here to deliver you and stuff. And you need deliverance before you even get into something like that. Y'all hear me? You need deliverance. You don't need to know everything they need to know about her past until you first are strong enough to be able to know that you can be able to handle information that could possibly interfere or hurt or damage you. That will cause you to end up getting a spirit and looking at them sideways. And then at the heating moment, when you get angry or something like that, next thing you know, you're throwing these obscenities, insults at each other, and then guess what the first thing you do? You bring up the past, holding that in escrow for you to be able to use it at any opportune time. And if you don't do that, you deal with them in that manner without even saying it, because that's where you're at spiritually. And of course, what is your number one order if you're running wicked like that? You put a gag order on them. Don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. And they're spiritually dying. Don't have nobody to talk to because you're not leading them. You're not guiding them. You're not being the man that you should be. You're not being, let me see, what does Isaiah says? He's a wonderful counselor, the mighty Yah, the everlasting Father, and the Prince of Peace. All those are virtues and attributes and character traits that we all should be mimicking of our Yah because we are created in his image. Are y'all hear me? So rather than going around stomping and talking about how much of a man you are, if you got to say you the man, you ain't the man. Do y'all hear me? You got to say you a man, you ain't the man. You are not the man. A man doesn't have to validate his position that he already has by divine fiat. Make sense? Yes, sir. We learning anything yet? Yes, if your wife, spouse, whoever it is, if they want to actually seek counsel for something you don't have an answer, put your damn pride apart to the side. Because when we counsel you, we have confidence. We don't go discuss matters. When it's individual dealing with you and your family, we're trying to build a strong family union here in Israel. Okay? My newest child, she wanted to get pregnant yesterday. She wanted to get pregnant the first time that we actually consummated. And I told her, no, you ain't ready yet. You flat out ain't ready. I'll let you know when you're ready. Are you following me? And she don't ask. Sometimes she gets to the point she's going to let it slip, and I go, no, don't you ask. I'll let you know. I'm going to be the one to determine when you are ready to be a mother. I can't have you being a mother when you all jacked up with rejection. I can't have you be a mother when you're on an emotional roller coaster and there's no stability about you at all. I've told brothers in this ministry, don't go out there and when you first get married, go out there and create a baby and stuff, because I'm telling you, you're going to create a little monster. If she has issues that she has to deal with, it's going to transfer to them babies. And then you've got hell to pay on your hand until they get old enough to where they can actually communicate and cope. Is it making sense? I hope I'm making sense. I literally hope I'm making sense. Are you following me? Now, I mean, you could take all the information I'm sharing with you, you can throw it in the garbage can if I wasn't an example. But I'm a good example. Are you following me? I'm a damn good example. And you know how I know I'm a damn good example? All three of them tell me I'm a damn good example. You get it? Y'all hearing it? We see that this world, I just got finished reading an article. Mom in Buffalo, New York, gets thrown in jail and have her children taken away from her because she homeschooled. Trying to bring up on charges for homeschooling. See the reason why we have to come out? See the reason why we need to come out? We have to come out. All right? So anyway, I hope I had to ask you a question. I'm going to try not to be as long on all of these right here, and also give the elders the opportunity to answer some of these too. Next one, anybody got anything? Come on, Brother McNabb. Get the mic to him so everybody can hear, because we got the people out there online listening as well.
Bless you. Is there a limit on the amount of daughters of Zion a brother should inquire within a certain time frame?
You know, first of all, number one, you shouldn't even be thinking, if you already have one is shy, you shouldn't even be thinking about another shy until you know how to rule your house. Are you following me? Yes, sir. Now, in Israel, there ain't no certain number, but the number should be is whatever you financially can actually take care of. Did y'all hear that? Yes, sir. Whatever you financially can take care of. Not you plus her working. Are you following me? Yes, sir. I listened to a little bit of that interview with what's his name, Elder Murray? Elder Murray? I totally disagree with that shit. He got his wives out working, getting degrees and stuff, and he's sitting at home so-called managing his empire like a damn business. There ain't nothing in Torah that showed that a man can even make his wife work outside the home. If she don't even want to work, you by law can't make her work outside the home. Because she's in her role. And you're trying to get her out of your role. And beside that, why the hell, I know I'm going to get to your question, though. I'm digressing here for a second. But why the hell would you want your woman to go out here and be up under the authority of another damn man anyway? Especially a Gentile. They supposed to be chaste keepers at home. He got back to me when, matter of fact, what Brother Brandon had said. He said, man, I take my wife, my children, my family around family reunions and stuff. I got uncles and every damn body gawking over my wife. Is that right? You know, I mean, to the point you want to beat their ass. Then you come around Israel and comes to find out, ain't nobody eyeballing his wife. He's like, man, this is the most comfortable I ever felt in my life. The Bible talks about people who have eyes full of adultery. They cannot cease from sin. Are you following me? And basically people that are like that, they're beguiled because they're unstable souls. They got to be your sister, especially if it's your brother wife. If it's your brother wife. All right, so I had to answer a question yesterday in the interview. Sister Esther wanted to do an interview based on biblical marriage because there's 100 books out there. Everybody's talking about biblical marriage and nobody knows what the hell they're talking about. Everybody got a so-called divine opinion about every damn thing and they don't even live it. Best experience is living it. Brother Bud has been a polygamist longer than all of us have. And he's actually learning from us. Am I remiss by saying that?
I can tell you how to screw it up.
You see what I mean? Are you following? But the question came up to me and says over in Isaiah 4:1, says 7 women in that day, 7 women would take a hold of what? One man. And let us be called by thy name. We'll wear our own food. We'll eat our own food, have our own apparel, but only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. Is that right? Yes, sir. That is a time of some serious earthly destruction. That is a time that the earth is decimated and most men die in war. Is that right? Yes, and you can't even, hardly, a woman can't even find a man during that time. Are you following me? Yes, in that day, so 7 ain't the number. And beside that, most of you can't even afford 1. You can't even afford 2. If you can't afford 1, you definitely can't afford 2. And then when those children come, it gets even more expensive. Oh, you got it? So as far as the number, I wouldn't even concentrate on it. It took me 30 years before I got a second one. And I've always believed in biblical marriage. Mother Carol told me when we had these discussions, we even had a discussion with families that no longer part of this ministry in the early 2000s. She says, well, I understand what you're saying, but the day that you do something like that, I'm gone. I said, you might as well hit the door right now. Amen. Y'all hearing that? This is way in the early 2000s. I told her, first of all, number one, you ain't going to tell me what you are not going to do. And none of us know we can predict the day, time, hour. We can't predict the future when something may come up on us or even change. But if it's something biblical and you're going to be against what Yah says, you're good. I know how to get rid of you then. Will it hurt? Yes, it will hurt. It will hurt. You don't be with somebody for 30 years and it don't hurt. Are you following me? I mean, Mother Carol's assimilated. You get it? 30 damn years, brother. You're not about to sit up there and approach me in opposition against Yah's word. Well, do you see her gone? She ain't going to go either. So it's a unique experience when you first start doing these things. So I would only recommend first concentrating on one covenant. There's no such thing as first wife, second wife, third wife, fourth wife. They're all individual covenants. You have the principal one that you end up being married to, then the rest of them are different covenants. Are you following me? Different covenants. And you need to know how to conduct yourself when carrying along in these covenants. Because we got a lot of these men in here. We got a lot of men that some of you may. I told you less than 5% of the people were going to participate in biblical marriage anyway. Remember I saying that? Remember saying that? Is it not holding true? And some of you can't participate because, watch this, your wife won't let you. She gonna throw a fit. She gonna complain. She gonna kick, scratch. She gonna use blackmail. I'm taking the children. I'm gonna take your ass on. If a man can't rule his own house, how can he take care of the assembly of Yah? And some of you can't. There's no way. You want to, but you can't. Because you have not spent time training and teaching your child the ways of Yah. Are y'all hearing me? Yes, sir. Are you hearing me? Yes, sir. It's crazy. My shies, and I told them y'all gonna stop this. I don't want to hear I don't want to hear nothing else about this ever again. You hear me? I said, y'all stop this nonsense talking right here. I want to let y'all, you know what they say? They say, baby, your love is so good, you need another one. And I go, no, I don't either. Because I didn't ask for you. All right, here's the other key point. Are y'all listening to me? Yes, sir. All right. All three that I have with me today, every single one of them, I got a witness. Do you hear me? Yes, I actually got a witness from the Father. I had a knowing just dropped into me. Not only that, he had already prepared their hearts to say yes before I even approached them. The last two, both of them knew I was coming before I did. Now, let's go Bible this. David, y'all said to David, man, I've given you all this stuff, and if you would have wanted more, I would have what? Well, how does he give them to you then? See, you think when a man find a wife, keep going around looking for a woman until somebody say yes. That ain't finding. If you in that kind of search, what kind of favor you've attained yet? You ain't got none, do you? Because you ain't got none yet. And the man finds a wife, he obtains favor from y'all, right? Good thing, favor. So if y'all said I would have given them to you, he would have placed something in David, a knowing. And then he would be able to approach that woman. And not only that, I even believe to the point that the woman would even be prepared. Y'all hear me? Yes, sir. Well, Pastor Dow, you got 3 of them. Well, I didn't ask for 3 of them. Did y'all hear me? Yes, sir. Oh, I know. It's easy for you to say you got 3 of them now. You know how much sex go on with 3 wives? Huh? I got one sitting right here that ended up finally getting him another wife, and the first thing he did, come to me, Pastor. I said, I already know why you're coming. Did I not say that? Before he even get it out of his mouth, I said, I already know why you're here. For real? I said, yeah, I'm going to tell you. Did I not tell you? If you're married, you've been married a long time, you probably have sex once or twice a week, maybe, if that time, if that much. You've been married a long time. Another one comes in, all of a sudden you're having sex every day. Sometimes 2-3 times a day. And the first thing they want to do, remind you, the law says conjugal rights. And be 53 years old and be married to somebody 27. Especially when you got all 3 of them goo-goo-eyed and looking at you. That's why I got to stay in shape. So another question is that, well, how do you balance the time? The way I want to. Yes, sir. The way I want to. You get it? I balance time the way I want to, and I'm very fair. Are you following me? Yes, sir. And if all 3 of them could get pregnant, all of them want babies, every one of them. You understand what I mean? Yes, sir. All right. I know I went a roundabout way and digressed 1,000 times as I usually do to answer questions. But do you get the answer? Yes, sir. And all you got to do is, men, keep a righteous spirit. I just took on another daughter. Is she physically my daughter? No, but she's my daughter. And she's a beautiful young girl, got a meek, humble spirit. Guess who she's being trained by? Guess who she's being trained by? Right here. It starts here first, and then my wives, my Ishaiahs, they turn around and they help in the areas that she needs to be as a woman. It's disappointing that you men have daughters and you have not prepared them for marriage. I mean, look at the biblical construct anyway. You usually see older men with younger women. Is that right? Because they're established. You usually see that. Are you following me? We got a whole bunch of virgin daughters of Zion, and can't none of them get married because there ain't no man worthy. Who you give them to? Huh? Who you give them to? Who's going to be worthy of them? Who's going to be worthy of this little daughter right here that Because I told you, I bought her up. I said 2 years. You hear that? And the Most High probably going to drop somebody in my mind. It's still going to be totally up to them, if you understand what I mean. But I said 2 years. And I figure it's going to take every bit of 2 years to get her from being a young Gentile woman to a woman prepared for marriage, because she hasn't learned anything. Nothing. And you as fathers, you're responsible for making sure not only the management of your home, but the upkeep and the teaching of your homes. You should be preparing your daughters from their youth, especially if you've been in this for a while. They should have already been prepared. Because what's going to happen is they're going to be stuck up in your house at 25 years old, and then a spirit going to come up on you, and you're going to want them out. The Bible says when a man marries his daughter, he has performed a weighty matter. Oh, she your precious little jewel now, but she becomes a weight. By the time and then the sad part about it is you're missing out on her most prolific childbearing years. Are y'all hearing me? Yes, sir. We got to get our minds right. So there are young daughters of Zion that are being prepared for marriage. They are really, truly are. We got women coming to the ministry left and right. Left and right. Good looking young daughters too. And who's going to prepare them and get them ready? See, if you're not ready as a man, how can you lead your own house then? Next question. Pastor.
So what does unpreparedness look like in men from a leadership standpoint? Because a lot of men don't understand what it is what am I doing wrong? Why am I not ready? Why do you think I can't take on a daughter like that? So can you share that?
Sure. I will give you the old military definition of preparedness or leadership. Leadership is a process of influencing men in such a manner in order to accomplish a mission. Communication, exchange and flow of information from one person to another. How am I doing, Ranger? Pretty good. You get it? You cannot be a hypocrite. You've got to live by example and be the example. You follow me? You got to own up to where you're falling short, acknowledge it and correct it, and change. Y'all hear me? You got to change. We read the Bible, we read scripture all the time, and we read about our ancient people, and some of them were just strong men of integrity. Why can't that be you? Why can't that be you? Have y'all watched me and see how I conduct and carry myself around sisters? I know y'all watching me. Hey, y'all do it. You over here talking, hey, brother, how you doing? Are you following me? Integrity, honor, strength, truthfulness. You hear me? Good virtues. Whatever you see yourself not be, work on it. Start working on it and being it. Starts with you. It's easy to make damn excuses. I'm no damn good. Yeah, you got that right. You ain't no damn good. I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. You are sorry. Now we ain't going to change it. We're going to do something about it. You got to change. You hear that? You got to change. You'll notice a change. You'll recognize a change. And not only that, the people around you will notice and recognize a change. And when a woman sees a good man and sees a change, it's not one that's salivating all over and thirsty as hell. Because most of the time that makes women pissed off as hell. When they see you thirsty and salivating and stuff, and are you following? Making them uncomfortable and stuff like that. It don't work. It works the very opposite over here. Be a man of integrity. Be a man of your word. Be a man of your word. You say it, do it. If you can't do it, if something comes up, communicate the reason why you can't. Be a man of good moral character, good strong virtues. You can do it. Anybody can yield to the flesh. But who gonna yield to the spirit? What you got, Gene? Bring a mic. Is that sufficient?
Let's suppose that a brother is running dirty right now, and he gets convicted. Where does he start saying, I don't know what to do? Who do we go to in the ministry? What's the chain of command?
See, first of all, if you're not around a community or a home fellowship or something like it, I'm sure you're around some brothers somewhere that you can be accountable to. Are you following me? Now, let me give you an example. All right, y'all heard me talk about this one brother that we put out the damn ministry and what he's doing. You follow me? Because I like calling names. They call my name all the time on the internet. I mean, ain't no truth to it, but they call it. You get it? All right, but this guy right here, let's just say happen chance that we can see some fruit of repentance. Over in 1 Corinthians, when that man got caught in fornication. Y'all remember him? And you see them, the man, the assembly put him out, man, and then when he repented, they wouldn't even let him come back. Or then Paul had to write a second letter over in 2 Corinthians and said, now look at here. If the guy has done met the conditions to repent, man, bring him back, restore him. Watch him, but restore him. In other words, don't be so cold-hearted and callous to say that the man can't return if he meets the conditions. You get it? But sex is a deadly thing out here in this world today. I also saw that there was a white man online this morning that he went out to try to lay with as many as black women as he could because he wanted to infect them with HIV. So in this promiscuous world, you got to be careful about what you want to stick your pecker in. Y'all hear me? You don't want to be going out there and run around running dirty and stuff and then possibly bring back something to the family. If you're really truly converted, then why are you over here still acting like the world? Some of these problems that are so systemic, it's only because you don't want to change. You simply just don't want to change. That's it. Yeah, brother, get that brother back here in the very back.
Bless you. How do you come in? I've been married outside in the world, and then we came into the faith. Mm-hmm. As a man, how do I maintain and continue to change to become an Israelite while unlearning all that crap and seeing it, able to see the bad habits of me coming out into the world? Me coming out of the world. Mm-hmm. How do I maintain as a man, continue to maintain that standard?
If you love me,
keep my commandments. That's it.
It's that simple.
That's it.
Whatever you expect out of others. Now think about this for a second. With some of you that's got all these issues and stuff, can I act like you? I mean, oh no, really, can I act like you? Would it be all right if I go out here and give me a piece of tail on the side? And then get up in the pulpit and preach to you how holy and righteous you should be? Would it be all right? Then if I can't do it, then why you have a license to do it? Anybody here in any kind of way, shape, fashion, or form ever seen me staring at another man's wife? In the remotest way. If you do, come to me and let me know. so I can check to see if there's a spirit or something. You hear me?
Yes, sir.
Be about it. You read it, you comprehend it, you understand it, now live it. And as you go, you'll even gain greater understanding. See, a lot of things you really truly don't get until you start walking into it and you start developing as the days and the years go by. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. There was somebody else right here. Well, we'll get two more over here, then we'll come over here, all right? If y'all want to jump in, man, y'all let me know. Mm-hmm.
Pastor, I was hoping for some clarity. What is a concubine, and is it appropriate, or is it something that we shouldn't participate in?
A concubine is a woman that doesn't have a contractual agreement with far as inheritance goes. Remember Abraham? He had Hagar, and then he turns around and sends her away, and he gave them gifts. Are you following? I would say pretty much, if you really truly look at it, there's hardly any women in this generation, unless they're virgins, that are really qualified to be called in the Shire. Are you following me? They're really truly, the only people that really truly, if you really truly look at the scriptures for what it says is actually qualified to be called in the Shire, is a virgin, a divorcee, or a widow. A virgin, a divorcee, or a widow. Divorcee got a release because of the contract, which the husband's not supposed to bring a name up on her, as we learned from Joseph, according to Deuteronomy 24, the way that he dealt with Mary. He was a man, he thought that, man, ain't no way this woman could end up turning around and be pregnant with it. We talking about this, the Holy Spirit. You get it? And he was minded to put her away privately, and not bring an ill will or ill name upon her. Why? So that nobody else wouldn't be able to cover her. He didn't want to stain her name. That's an honorable man. All right? The widow, not a woman that is under the age of 60, being the husband of one man, being a wife of one man. All right, follow me? At least up to that age. These are just guidelines. And of course, it's obvious for a virgin. Now, the designation far as a wife goes, only you can give that designation. If she's going to be either a wife or a concubine. Too many women today, even though they've got a high body count, they actually think they're wife material. They went out here and done develop a high body count, and they think that they're just as divine as a virgin, and a virgin ain't all that divine. Because she still has to learn how to be a wife. You follow me? I'll have to keep going back to that again. Because the husbands or the men are not teaching their daughters how to be a wife. Now, when you get married, it's up to you as a man to teach her how to be a wife. You have to actually play a father role in there. But anyway, a concubine or pegalish is someone that doesn't have inherited rights. Now, how many women today are willing to be a concubine? If you're going to do a concubine, if you notice, they didn't just pass around concubines like candy. Anytime you get a case of the ass because she done something wrong, you put it away. Notice these concubines usually stayed with the men until their time was up. You got people out here that want, well, you know, when I get finished with her and stuff, then she can go out here and get married to somebody else. Show me that in the book. She makes an agreement with you for that, then she's there with you. And even at that, the reason why that we want to actually get involved in this, because, you see, if we don't stop the blood, the letting of the bloodletting, all right, follow me? It's easy for this ministry to turn around and be just like other ministries in the world. Because there's no standard. There's no accountability. Are you following me? And that's the reason why you're here, because you got tired of the bullshit out there. Is that right? At least that is the reason why you're here, right? You got tired of the bullshit out there, and we're tired of your bullshit here. Are you following me? We're trying to keep blessings upon us as a people and not curses. Is that making sense? Right here.
Bless you. So, Pastor, if a man has had a wife who didn't want to follow him in the truth, and she wanted to be out and left, and the Most High brings the man a new wife, and the divorce process is taking longer than it should take.
The what now?
Divorce process. Can a man who's found a wife that the Most High gave him, can he be officiated to this woman in Israel?
Yeah. What does 1 Corinthians chapter 7 say? When you go read that chapter very clear, it actually puts limitations on women, but it doesn't give the same laws for a man. Are you following me?
Yes, sir.
If this woman is done already left or she left, the Bible says that the unbelieving depart, let them do what? Let them depart. The brother's not under bondage in such cases. Are you following me? But what does it do? It says that if the woman departs, it gives her the law for her to quickly be reconciled into a what? Husband. But what does it say about the man? Does it give the same order? No, it doesn't. Why? Because a man in Israel can have more than one woman. You get it? And the only way that the woman can actually return is if she has not laid with another man. Are you following me? If she's turned around and laid with another man, that automatically disqualifies you. Well, what about Hosea and Gomer? You ain't Hosea. The Most High was doing that because he was actually using Gomer to show what type of condition Israel was in. Is that making sense? So if you end up finding another shy and stuff, and probably if you end up getting another shy and she already done departed, chances are she ain't don't want to come back anyway. But if she did come back, she has to come back based on your rules and regulations and the acceptance of what the way that you're living. You see, contrary to popular belief, Public Law 97-280, which is the Holy Bible, is that right? Holy Bible and stuff. Believe it, they keep saying they play these mental gymnastics with us by telling us what's lawful and what's not legal, and playing legalese and all this other stuff. There ain't nothing that this world can do about it if you had more than one in Shire, as long as you don't go out and commit what? Bigamy, which is having more than one marriage license. The only thing they care about is contractual agreements, because the only reason why that is because of money. They don't want to give out more taxes that they're already extracting for you under duress. Is that making sense? They don't care. How many girlfriends did they care about you had? When you was a player, a broke-ass player at that. Are you following me? So, yeah, you can, if she chooses to come back, she comes back under your order. You don't have to let her back. But one thing's for sure is she better not have laid with another man. That making sense? All right, there's one more right over here, then we're going to come over here.
Bless you, Pastor.
Are we doing all right? Yes, sir. All right, go ahead.
To me, this is a relationship question. I want a better quality of worship with Yah.
Say again?
I want a better quality of worship with Yah. How do I do that?
How do you do it?
Yes, sir.
How you do it? Set yourself apart. What do you do when you get up in the morning? Pray and brush your teeth. You know, one of the greatest intimate relationship that you can have with the Most High Yah is really, truly, I mean, you can do all a bunch of things, but really, truly, a lot of it is just sitting down, actually reading that word. Quiet time, really reading that word. What happens? When you read that word, you're reading it, and the words are being formed in your mind. It's having an impact on your spirit. Keeps you close to Yah. Are you following me? And if you really, truly want to feel the divine power of Yah, when I first started off, I used to fast twice a week. I used to fast twice a week, and I used to go on 3-day fast all the time in the military with no food and water, and I still had to run PT. Still had to do it. So when you're reading your word and you're fasting and you're praying, that's how you can stay close to Yah. That's how you can keep the anointing up high. You're going to have to spend time with him. You like spending time with your wife? You think the Most High would like to spend time with his wife? Hi, wife. You are a wife, right? So now you see the reason why I keep saying that you need to know how to wife up a woman. What kind of wife are you to the Most High? Pastor. Yeah.
I just want to say this first few verses here in Psalm 66. So, number one, do you esteem the Most High Yah? Do you really? Yes, sir. So listen to Dawid right here in Psalm 66. He says, shout with joy to Elohim, all the earth. Sing out the splendor of his name. Make his praise esteemed. So then, to me, in the morning when I get up and pray, I ain't getting up tired. I ain't getting up where I can't get in and give the Most High quality. Because again, you hear Pastor relating this as a relationship. If you go in there with your wife for a couple of seconds and come out, it ain't good. You know what I'm saying? So it's good to, be with your wife and enjoy and praise. The same thing with the Most High Yah. Make that relationship enjoyable. Esteem him. A couple more verses. Say to Elohim. You hear what he said? How awesome are your works. You see what I'm saying? So it's a uplifting. See, I do that right there is exactly what I do. And I talked about on some of the things just in praying, and I'm going to actually go over this more, but in praying, because I'm just looking at what the ancestors did, especially Dawid, because he was one who was after Yah's own heart. So if Yah loved him so much, look what he's saying. He says, say to Elohim, how awesome you are. So I start out my prayer in telling Yah, I don't ask for nothing. I don't even think about myself. I don't think about nothing. I'm just thinking about, Yah, you are in this holy, heavenly dwelling, holy and awesome. You've done so much for me. You put your hand on my family. You saved so many families. The angels are gathering around you because there's nobody like you. So you got to esteem him. If you want a better relationship, then you'll start to feel some things in there because the presence of Yah is welcome to come in where his name is being esteemed. You got it?
Glory to the King. Isn't that a good answer? Hallelujah. Right here. Yeah, you definitely don't forget praise. That should already be in your prayer.
Bless you, Shepherd. For those that are currently in relationships, and they're with women that obviously a lot of people have passed and they bring it into new relationships, how does a brother, how important is pouring into your wife, knowledge, understanding, and what does that look like?
What does that look like? Pastor just got finished answering it. You seen David? You seen how David responded to the Most High? Same way we should be responding to our women. The Most High says, by loving kindness have I drawn you. Is that right? By loving kindness have I drawn you. Now, loving don't mean you capitulate and give them everything that they want. Are you following me? It's just about being there to be able to provide and do the things that you know necessary that needs to be done. Whatever you expect for your wife to be, you be that way first. Is that making sense? Whatever expectations you have for your wife, you make sure you have the same expectations for yourself. Are you following me? I mean, I got strong covenants. Strong covenants. I can get finished having sex and they still be laying in the bed like, ooh, mercy me. We be in a dining hall and they be up there eyeballing me. They trying to look around and now wait a minute. Isn't that the way you want to be with the Most High? In his presence is the way you want to be? So these new people, when you first start on new people, start off with accountability. You follow me? Start with accountability. The same way that you run in your house, the same way it's been done, have the same expectations for anybody else that come in. Huh? Brother Mike, Brother Nick, does he run a good house? Huh? Is he a good example? Brother Steve and his family. Is his wife a good example, good wife? He a good example, good husband? Good leader? Huh? Be the same way. Got example sitting right in front of you. Can't miss it. Can't miss it. Next one. Go ahead, bro. What time is it anyway? That's it.
All right, so bless you, Pastor.
Bless you.
So I'm asking this question because I want to make sure that I was doing the right thing. Anytime my wife used to do something bad or like mess up washing the dishes, not do the clothes right, I would correct her. She often told me that I was treating her like a child. So during one of our Bible studies, I was just like, okay, show me in the Bible what charge I have where I'm not providing you what I'm supposed to do. She couldn't find one. I showed her a lot for hers. Then we came to the verse where it says, husbands, don't be harsh to your wife. And then she told me I was being harsh. So I told her that you don't actually understand what love looks like. So I wanted to make sure, what does it look like when you are harsh to your wife? Is it overly correcting her, or is it something else?
Harsh to your wife is being abusive. Are you following me? It's just being abusive. Correcting your wife is not harsh. And if she don't want to be treated like a child, then stop doing childish things. You have to get on a child to make them wash dishes. But if it's already your duty to do it, I shouldn't have to get on you to wash dishes. A grown woman wouldn't have to be told not to wash dishes. But a child has to constantly be reminded of their duties. Correction is grievous unto them for the sake of the way. You hear that? And if time you have to raise your voice, then hey, when the spirit of the ruler, husband, rises up, what everybody's supposed to do? Stay in your place. You don't rise back up again. Don't let them rise up. You get it? That's your home. You are the priest of your home, and nobody should be able to come in and interfere the way you run your home as long as it's done lawfully. All right? But this little stuff where you hurt my feelings, this ain't got nothing to do with no feelings and emotions. All right? You're going to spend time correcting them because they are like little children. Yes, they are too. They're literally like little children. And if you got two covenants, you're really going to find out how much of a child they are until they mature. I'm serious. You get two of them, you're going to really find out what children are. Any more over here? Right here. Now, y'all understand, I want y'all to, I really truly want y'all to be married the right way, the lawful way. Because we need, look what Satan has done. Satan has made sure he's given us this European construct from our European counterparts. And what they've done is psychologically and emotionally and culturally played genocide upon us. Even to the point of our mind that nobody has any trouble, nobody has any issues for going out and actually making babies without covenant. But then all of a sudden you do things biblically and lawfully, they don't want that. The reason why is because Satan don't want a world where we're raising the next generation of righteous Israelite children. That's what he don't want. Because if you notice, people are not really truly running the Yah today. So it's got to come from us. We got to raise a generation of commandment-keeping, Yah-fearing people. And Satan don't want that.
Yes, sir. My question is, if a divorcement comes up or issues are not worked out with your Ashaya or whatever, can you demand partial dowry back or dowry back if stuff can't get worked out?
No.
Yes, sir.
The dowry actually goes, or the price goes to the husband, goes to a father. Are you following me? All right. Hey, look, what does the book say? The book says that if a wife, if she doesn't even go as you go, then do what? Put her away from you. Pull away from him. Brother Kabir.
Pastor, something that you said earlier today, you said that regarding polygyny, if you wanted to take on a second wife, you need to make sure you take care of the first one. Now, one thing
what you say again?
Before you take on a second one, you need to make sure you rule the first one well. Now, one thing I've learned just coming from Christianity, women, they find loopholes. But even in Israel, we know that polygyny is right. Everybody knows it's right, but doesn't mean that they necessarily are for it. I think Sister Ashley, I really liked her testimony, how she knew it was right, but she struggled internally. But, this is on YouTube or something here. I'm looking here. If I'm a woman that don't like this, can't they just start acting not right based off of what you just said? They're saying that, well, I'm not ready, or, you haven't really poured into me. Then don't that kind of put the woman in control in determining when that man can take on the second or third?
No. Only if you allow her.
How is that?
Only if you allow her. See, first of all, she ain't the one that's got to get ready because she ain't the one making the covenant. Does that make sense? Are y'all listening to me? She's not the one making covenant. And the reason why you need the first one right, because she's going to be able to help train the second one or the additional one. Is that making sense? Before Elder Rufus ended up bringing in another covenant stuff, they were friends. And when he come on into his family stuff, it worked like a well-oiled machine. Are you following me? Now, everybody, it's not, you don't have to have more than one. You don't. Are you following me? I keep telling you, less than 5%, did I say that? 5% of people going to participate anyway. I mean, sure, it's on people's minds and stuff like that. Are you following me? But you got to really truly consider. So get it in your mind that you are the head. You are the head. Well, I know you read in the book what Sarah bought Hagar and said here because she was barren and all this other stuff. Today, you ain't going to have women, even if they are barren, they ain't going to turn around and tell you, please get another one. That ain't going to happen. Are you following me? So you got to get into the position of understanding you are the authority, you're the head, and you're not looking for that validation. At the same time, you still need to be sensitive towards them. Are you following me? Because some of the best experience is some people just simply ain't, some of the women just simply ain't going to get it until they in it. Because a lot of things, when you're experiencing, you never know what's really deep down inside of you until you're in something. You get it? Until you're in something. So yeah, they can put a monkey wrench on things and try to do certain things, act certain ways and stuff, but it's not their covenant. They have an individual covenant with you. You are the head of the house. Are you following me? And with that being a good manager, a good husband, you should actually know, let me see, is my house ready? Is my house ready? You need to assess for me to actually be able to bring another woman into this environment. Is it healthy or is it toxic? Are you following me? And so now you know what you need to work on then. You got a lot of stuff to work on from that point. Are you following me? So you have to find out what's going on in his mind, and you need to get this Bible open, and y'all need to come to some agreements of what y'all's word said, regardless of your emotions and your feelings. Your emotions and feelings ain't got nothing to do with it.
Pastor, maybe you can continue to add on to this, but when it come down to readiness, I'm going to say this about my house, because one, me coming into this way, I watched Pastor Dow be a man. So first of all, before I even think about another wife, I'm assessing my level of being a man, meaning not how much I can rule over my wife, but all my affairs. So one of the things I've been talking about is, okay, do you understand what type of talents you got in your house? Because I watched Pastor Dow build. He's building. He's a shepherd. He's delivering babies. He got so many different things he's doing. He's up on Shabbat, playing the guitar. So he's furnishing all that he is, and he's fully submitted to Yah by giving himself completely and totally. So all his might, all his soul, and all his energy is into serving Yah. So you got to ask yourself first, are you doing that? Because then that's what leave your house without excuse. So then the second thing is then I look at my wife spiritually. Is she where I need her to be spiritually? Because them the things that I want to talk about first, even before I talk about another wife being in my house. Because then once all of them things are square, then yeah, by all means, be a man. That means that you have the right to take your house into whatever direction you want. So in me saying that, Pastor, what is that a such thing that men should have a direction that they are going in so they know how to assess whether their house is ready for a second wife or a third wife?
It's all summed up in this: peace. Is your house at peace? Is your house at rest? Are you following me? Is it at peace and is it at rest? I mean, listen to what I'm saying. All right? I promise I ain't thinking about another one. But they have discussions amongst themselves all the time. Man, when is he going to get another one? He needs another one. I'm like, no, I don't. Are you following me? And I'm not saying that because of me, you know, whatever reason. They're saying it because if you ask them, they'll say, he is that good of a man. Did you hear that? He is that good of a man. Are you following me? Let me give you an example of something about pouring into your wives, okay? Or your women, or your shias, whatever way you want to refer to them. All right? They'll be studying on something. Okay? They'll be studying on something, and this is where most of you make your mistake. Y'all want to hear it? You want to hear what husbands make their biggest mistakes? Some people don't want to hear it. I'm going to go ahead and tell you, you ain't a good listener.
Yes, sir.
See how sorry y'all? You ain't a good listener. You don't let them sit down and spend time asking you and explaining to you. You follow me? They'll go do some type of, they'll do a study, and they'll have pages of notes. And I say, okay, I got something right here I want to go over with you. I may be sitting there for 2 hours. Sometimes I'm sitting there 30 minutes. Sometimes I'm sitting there 45 minutes. I'm listening to her the whole entire time uninterrupted. If she asks a question, I'll address it at that time. Women love to communicate. But you put a gag order on them and stuff, you're going to cause them to start slowly dying. Are y'all listening to me? You be insensitive towards them, they're going to start getting slowly dying. You follow me? So they'll sit there and get pages of notes. They'll study on something, and they'll say, okay, good. I need to want to go over this with you. Okay, let's go over it. And I spend time listening to them. The reason why I say uninterrupted, because many times you believe you already have the answer to what they're saying, but then by the time you get finished listening, they went in a total different direction from what they started, because they're trying to get to something. So be a good listener. Be a good listener. Are you following me? Be a good listener. I mean, I'm very gentle with my shias. I really am. I'm also very firm with them. Very firm. Are you following me? And Kabir, he likes reporting on everything. He comes to the house and he hadn't been in the ministry long and stuff, and he's seen me get firm with Mother Carol. Is that right? He's like, man, these people just be living. They don't try to put on a show for nobody. They just be living. And how does Mother Carol respond to me? Meek, quiet, humble. You know the reason why? You know the reason why? Because I'm good to them. Is it not the Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom? I'm good to them. And they know it. So if you're really good to them, then what do they want to do? They want to please you. They can't please you if you this stiff board that can't even be spoken to. That making sense? Yes, sir. All right, any more questions? Over here? Let me see, we're going to get 4 or 5. Get Brother Freeman back there. Yes, sir, come on, Elvis.
I want to speak about what Kabir just said. And if you look at the way Israel has the system set up, everybody's in a position of accountability. So brothers that may not be where they think they need to be spiritually, that are desiring this and concerned that wives can do this, wives can do that. At the end of the day, it's set up for all of us to be in accountability, all of us to be discerned. That's why you submit yourselves to those that had a rule over you. That's why this is set up the way it is. And we watching out, we checking out, we looking at everything, and you have the elders to bounce all this stuff off of us. You see what I'm saying? But I was having a conversation with a brother earlier this week, and I was letting him know that one of the number one problems I see with me, and I'm going to agree exactly what Pastor said, is about listening. We were talking about that at the breakfast table today. Israel just don't listen. It's been a whole bunch of communication going forward this feast. And our number one problem, I believe, we've had this feast is a lack of listening from Israel. And it goes to your position as a wife to the Most High. See, you have a hard time listening to Pastor Dow or Elder Becker or Pastor Corey, anybody in leadership. You ain't listening to Yah either. So your wife can see that, because let's just keep it real. Most of the women are more spiritual than you knuckleheads. They just are. They're more spiritual. So then here it is. I'm going to use the example Pastor just said. She got 2 hours. She got 27 pages of notes. What you think she doing with them notes? Going to the Father, meditating on it, but she need answers, right? Y'all not finna supersede. He gonna follow his order. So if you are being a good wife to the Father and you are listening to him and you are connected to him and he is depositing in you, when your wife come with those answers that you on the natural don't have an answer to, that's when you go to Yah and he'll give it to you. But what kind of confidence does your wife have in you when she's constantly coming to you with these questions? You got a problem listening. So she know you ain't hearing it. You ain't listening to her. You ain't listening to Yah. So you don't have answers. So then you start bumping your gums and trying to come up with something carnal or worldly to give her answers. Where's the confidence in her and you then? This is where we fail as men with these women. And I'm going to speak on this point real quick and I'm done. Pastor brought up about the Isaiah prophecy. That's speaking about a specific kind of woman. This woman already got enough to take care of her food and her raiment. She don't need you for nothing, right? Until that hour comes. Well, what kind of mindset is that on a woman? And where are you going to be spiritually to deal with everything she went through to get to that mindset? You don't have a direct connection with Yah. Back to the praise, back to your routine with the Father, your personal desire to stay in his face and be googly-eyed with him all the time. And let's keep it real. If a wife sees you being an incredible wife to the Most High, she looking at that like, woo, and she's going to follow that. Can anybody here deny that Pastor Dow don't love his Ashayas? Can you say he don't? From just what you see, just being around him. He loves them. That's why they love him the way they do. Mine love me the way I do, and I've been saying this for years. I've always treated them like sisters more than I have wives. You know why? Because this life here with them as wives or Ashayas is temporal. I only get them in that position for a certain amount of time. They my sisters going into the kingdom forever. Hold on a second, and then I'm done. Hold on a second, I'm done. We clapping, but think about that, though. We got them temporal here for, 50, 60, 70 years maybe, right? And we divest all this thought, effort, and time into them as that. And we're not thinking about developing them as sisters. We'll spend no time developing them as that. So your order is just broken right there. the respect, the honor, the integrity is already marred. We have to get it in order. And that listening that he just brought up, that is off the chain. Because Israel go to anybody that's been doing soundboard, that's been cooking, that's been delivering food, that's been working on the land. The number one problem they've had at this feast is communication. And that's because we don't listen. We hear what we want to hear. And a crowd like this is easy to just clap your hands, but you get home and go right back to where you was. And then you before the elders with your same old issues because you won't listen. Love Yah like you want your wife to love you. And that comes to submit to leadership too. Because if you, I know this ministry bats 1,000. Everybody that submits, those marriages are perfect. Perfect in the sense of they don't have issues that they got to come back later and get marital counseling. They may need guidance on how to do this and do that in their communities, but not marital counseling. They've gotten it all in the years they waited. So if you follow the system, it's bulletproof. But submission has to be first. Bless y'all.
Go ahead, Brother Freeman.
Hey, bless you, Pastor. Bless you. As dads, how would we go about raising our daughters to be good wives? How would we go about making them be good wives?
First of all, the best way is by what they see as an example. The best way to see it as an example. See, the reason why I keep telling you that you can raise them to be a good wife because you all are wives yourself. Are you following me? To the Most High. All right? And so everything that you expect and your expectations of what you want out of a wife, pour that into your daughters. Because it's all the same. Don't you want an obedient wife? Don't you want a submissive wife? Then you have to teach her how to reverence her husband. You have to teach her how to reverence the one that's going to be covering her for the rest of her life. Are you following me? And she has to be able to learn how to do that and do that without fear. Are you following me? So it's the same thing. Whatever you expect for your wife to be, that's the way you train your daughters up to be. Does that make sense? You've got a role, and your wife is going to have the main role in forming and help forming, depending on what type of wife that she is, your daughters. Y'all get me? Anybody else? Go ahead. D. Jerry, right? Get us D. Jerry up here. You go ahead and talk because you're close enough.
Yes, sir. As a young man, if you're interested in a daughter of Zion, and she may not be a virgin, and we know that a virgin is a higher price than one that is not a virgin. If you go through the proper procedures through elders, pastors, to ask for that daughter's hand in marriage, how is the process of dowry, the bride price goes about? You know what I'm saying? And what will make her worth that value that her dad is asking for, or what's the process look like?
I don't see nothing in the scripture that it requires a dowry or bride price for someone that's not a virgin. Anybody else seen it? I haven't seen it anywhere. All right. Now, if you choose to want to do something like that, that's fine. I mean, all of my Ishaiahs, both sides of the family know that we're married. You get it? Now, some may not agree with it, but there ain't nothing they can do about it. You get it? It still ain't going to stop what we're doing, what we've already made an agreement on to do. All right, follow me? But the way you go about it is first of all, see, if you're in a community, things are totally different. All right? It's totally different in the community. And the reason being is because whenever you make a decision to actually take on a woman or another Shia or something, it affects the whole community. And the community has to be thought about first and foremost. So you have to be able to provide provisions, and you can't diminish the provisions of the principal wife. Does that make sense? And you can't turn around and throw her on the back burner either. You get it? You can't do that. So if you make it known, you make your request known, and because things work a little bit different on the community, then we will let you know after we get finished communicating with her And the reason, normally when you make yourself known and you're interested in a daughter, the first thing I do is I walk up to a daughter. I say, hey, this brother interested in you. What about you? That's how simple it is. See how spiritual that is? What's your answer? I say, now you're not making an agreement. You're just saying, okay, I could be interested in stuff. And then later on, after you think on this stuff, if you want to, as soon as you say yes, you're betrothed. You hear that? As soon as the woman agrees to your approach, then because you're a man of your word, you're betrothed. You get it? Now, betrothed is not having the marriage consummated, but that's like he's betrothed right now, right? To a wife, to a woman. Are you following me? She can't be going out here and actually speaking to another man, sitting down with another man, and you follow me? Because if she do something like that, she'll be breaching the covenant. You get it? Now throw you for a loop, Gene? A little bit? All right? So if she says yes, but now the reason why I'm saying that is because we live in a society that the majority of the homes are dysfunctional. Where's the dad at? Either in jail, dead, locked up, or something. How you follow me? Done abandoned them. And so that's the reason why we as elders take the oversight of this and we take the lead. Because the majority of our daughters that come here, they don't have any father figures that are in the faith. Does that make sense? And that's the reason why, that's how we end up approaching them. Are you following me? Now, if you ask for, there's a woman you like to get married to or something like that, that's the only reason why we take the oversight. You follow me? But if you ask for a woman that you're considered to want to be married or something like that, and if I don't think it's a personal good fit, I would say, brother, I don't think it's a good fit. I definitely don't think it's a good fit. Why? Because she definitely ain't ready. And you ain't got the time, energy, and effort to pour into her to get her ready. Does that make sense? She ain't ready. And then many times I would tell you, you ain't ready. Well, when do we get ready? Again, what type of wife are you to the Most High? What type of wife are you to the Most High? You get it? Brother Steve, a young man, how old are you, Brother Steve? 31 years old. And he's telling young men his age, you ain't ready. How does he know he ain't ready? Because he's married. He know what being ready is about. They already testified he's got a good home. Ran according to Torah in total obedience. Are you following me? So why wouldn't they take that advice? Anybody else? Where we at? Come on up here front. We'll take about 2 or 3 more. We're going to be done, okay? Here are all these questions about wives, and ain't no question about you. Huh?
Yes, sir. Pastor, could you speak to, could you speak to brothers that have the unbelieving spouse,
Mm-hmm.
and they're saying that they, just trying to shorten it up. I want to learn now, or now I want to listen to stuff. Could you kind of speak to how a man would minister to the wife? At first, she was she's still an unbeliever, but she kind of sees like, well, maybe I'll start paying attention. Could you kind of speak to how we would, as men, begin to minister to our wives, so they kind of nurture them along to, okay, this is what this is and everything.
Do you desire to be with her?
Yes, if she's gonna go, if she's gonna strive with me, yeah.
Right.
But I don't want to be dragging nobody.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah,
I got you.
And I've already given an amount of time.
Right.
And you told me 6 months. I gave it 6 months. When it was time to go,
Mm-hmm.
then that's when she said, hold on, and now she kind of want to listen. But now, in this process, there's some dragging of the feet here and there, and I'm
hold her accountable.
Okay.
Hold her accountable. Make her accountable to her word.
Okay.
Are you following me? That you give me? Because, I mean, if you are the husbandman,
yes, sir.
You are the patriarch, and all of you got to get it through your head, your wives should go as you go.
Yes, sir.
Y'all hear me? They are under authority. Y'all get that? They are literally under authority. Now making sense? Huh? So this is, like I said, this is, marriage is not a democracy. Are you following me? well, two of us have two opposing viewpoints and perspectives, then who's going to be the one that's going to be the final authority to say yay or nay? Am I making sense? The man is. The man is, period. Okay, you can listen, you get, but she's still supposed to go as you want her to go. Now, if she is slowly, truly becoming along and stuff, and you want to endure that, then endure it. You understand? I mean, endure it for a little while. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? And sometimes, if she really truly loves you, that's extra motivation to really find out if she really truly loves you. If she really truly wants to submit and obey you, when you give her an ultimatum and say, you know what, you out of here. I don't need this. You're going to find out real quick, fast, in a hurry if she loves you or not. All right, come on, Brother Vincent. Then we'll get you, brother, okay?
Bless you, Pastor. A while back, you had said something that stuck with me real good. You ain't going to get this unless you're taught by a Hebrew. And that man, that man since has been you and all the other brothers. But when it comes to being a father and teaching your children Torah, and I'm still so brand new in Torah, just now breaking into all of, is there not a set way, but what do you recommend as far as how to start them? Reading every Shabbat, Exodus 20, is there some way you would suggest to teaching young children Torah?
Your wife, she's the one that's with it when they little toddlers and children like this. Are you following me? But you, by being the priest of your home, all of y'all are priests in your own homes, right? You're a priest of your home, right? You're the leader of the house. Are you following me? Are you following me? You want to have devotion, then have devotions. You get it? You want to have devotions, have devotions. If you want to sit down and play Noah cards with them, well, I don't even know if there's such thing. Then do it. Do it at their level and where they're at. But what they have to do more than anything is see the example. Are you following me? I mean, I'm planning on having 3 or 4 more children and stuff. I guess you get to see it. Be the father, leave me around for a little bit. I guess you get to see it and see how I do. You understand what I mean? Yes, sir. I said, I'm back in the blue shirt. And I'm going to get him, and I'm going to get him like I said, and then I'll get you, Mitch, and then we're going to call it from there, okay? Because what time is it? 13:15. Okay.
Bless you, Pastor. What's the process of going from home fellowship to community living and ensuring that we reflect home base here and like how are roles established? Like if I'm new to the faith and I'm in a home fellowship, but my desire is to actually live the way of the book.
There's going to be more communities developed. But the way you do it, the whole purpose, the reason why we have you, and we don't want you to forsake the assembly together as the manner of some is, to be in home fellowship, because home fellowship will prepare you for community. Are you following me? And if you're living in a homestead, we call them homesteads and stuff, you will definitely be prepared for community, because everything about you is going to change. You see, because here, community, you don't get to go to bed, or you don't get to stop work when you want to work, when you finish working. Are you following me? You don't get to just turn around and take siestas and go run off somewhere and stuff while everybody else is busy working. There's accountability here. Are you following? Everybody's under authority. The community is not a stressful tyrant type thing. It was in the beginning. It was in the beginning because Elder Doug, Brother Shane, did we not work our ass to the bones? We worked our ass to the living, loving bones. I'm talking about sun up, sun down. Every day but Sabbath. And when we first got on this thing, when Sabbath came around, we would have service, and guess what? We spend the rest of Sabbath sleeping. Sleeping. But we have accountability. Are you following me? We have accountability around here with each other. We really, truly do. And the community has to be informed and run by one mind. Everybody can't have their own individual mindset. Are you following me? The leader is the one that has the structure and the vision for the way that the community is going to go, and you have to be willing to submit to that. Are you following me? That's how this thing works. That's how it works. Everybody's getting behind the vision of that leader. Are you following me? And if you can trust him, then it ain't hard. You get it? If you can trust him, it ain't hard. Are you following me? I mean, Here at Community and stuff, I'll give you an example. Here at Community, the only time we ever really truly see our sisters is when we're eating breakfast or eating dinner. We may see them in passing, like if they're at the clothesline or in the garden, but the brothers mostly stay around the brothers all the time. And sisters stay around sisters all the time. Are you following me? So again, here it is. It's not an environment conducive for sin. Are you following me? If let's say we're in the tabernacle. Let's say I come into the tabernacle and I see a sister cleaning. Are you following me? I don't go up to her, hey, sister, how you doing? Shooting the breeze. The majority, 99% of the time, if it's just her and I in that building, I don't say nothing to her or do what I need to do, and I'm out. Y'all get that? I don't even say nothing to them. I let them do, they're doing their job, and then I'm gone. I'm dust. You get it? Because what I have need to say to her. I say all that because, you know, when you're on the homestead and stuff, everything changes. Everything changes. Like, for instance, you don't just go up and she's your sister, or your phone, but still another man's wife. You get it? You just don't go and sit down and shoot the breeze and carry on because you sisters. You follow me? Everybody has to be careful about how they dress. You can't come out in your birthday suit. And she can't be coming out in a nightgown and her nipples showing. Am I making sense? I mean, I love the way of holiness. I just love it. I just told Brother Kabir the other day, I said, because we're going up in November, right? We're going to his place in November. And I say, brother, I may have to fly my 3 Ashais up, and I may end up coming a day or two later. You all right with that?
Yes, sir. I said, yes, sir.
Yeah, he'll be the ones to pick them up and everything. See, I can do that with him, but I can't do that with you. Uh-oh. You hear that? I know he keeps getting around these issues because, see, I can trust him. You follow me? I can trust him. He ain't got no wandering eye. He ain't slanting looking. Are you follow me? When he sees my Ashais, he ain't trying to get close to him to try to get a little feel or a hug or nothing like that. And they're very comfortable around him. They trust him. So I can actually have them up at his house for a whole day or two. I'm not even there, but I can't have them at your house for a day or two. He's on the community. They already have their mind framed and set and shaped the way we do things. And it works. So first you have to get yourself together and right. And then if you are meant to be on the community, believe it, the Most High, he'll communicate with us. And if you're developing or starting a community, it's better to start when you're young and not when you're old. I'm sorry, there ain't too many 53-year-old men work like I do. There ain't too many. How old are you, Elder Doug? There ain't too many 58-year-old men work like Elder Doug. There ain't too many 53-year-old men work like Brother Bud. Y'all follow me? Y'all be pressing hard if y'all can hang with us the whole winter long building. You get it? But you can develop that. You can do it, but you got to do it. You got to change. You got to change. So if you're meant for a community, I guarantee you the Most High is already working on you. Quickest way to get on the community is pay off your debts, buy some land, and get out there. What I said a question over here. Oh, let's get right here. Yeah, him. Go ahead. You get him first.
All right. Bless you, Pastor.
Mm-hmm.
So as far as being in a community, as far as being in Israel, it's easy because everyone is on one accord, one mind as far as being a patriarch, having respect, having authority. How do you delegate that when you're outside of Israel, when you're dealing with the heathen? They don't want to respect you. They want to buck up to you. How do you deal as being a man and having that strength? You know, how do you get them to, respect you?
Are you in a leadership position?
Yes, sir.
In what?
Is the work that I do.
At work, you're a supervisor?
No. but I delegate as far as like community, or as far as like construction sites where things go, things
Right.
like that. So I deal with a lot of men that try to buck up and.
Well, they can buck up all they want, but if you're in authority, they still got to do what you say. Are you following me? You're not speaking in suggestive terms. They may not like it, but you're not there to be like. You're there to do a job. Are you following me? So remove the emotion, remove the feeling out of it. They buck up, then they have. I'm sure there's a chain of command where they can be reprimanded too. Is right. And then you've got to be willing that if they are going to disrespect you and dishonor you based on your position and stuff, you've got to go to your supervisor and let them know exactly what they're doing. Or first of all, number one, first thing you do is you check them yourself. Brother, I ask you to do this. Or man, I ask you to do this. I need for you to get this done. Well, okay, I'll tell you what, good. So then you go to your authority and then tell them that's because that's how it works out there, right? Out there in the world. And then they may not be around too much longer. You get it? You're there to do a job. It's nothing personal. You follow me? Remove the emotion, remove the feeling. Nothing personal. Get the job done. Go ahead, Mitch.
Bless you, Shepherd. As a man, how do you gain in sobriety, maturity, and discipline, and how do you overcome hypocrisy?
Obedience to Yah. Just flat out obedience to Yah. Obedience to Yah. See, I'm trying my best to be as obedient to Yah as I can, as much as I can every single day. And the one thing, if you notice something about me in my life, I always apply myself. Are you following me? Life is like a football field, like a game. All right, you ask them when you go out there playing the game, if you're really, truly a true professional, there's an old saying that I left everything out on the field. In other words, in the end of the game, I ain't got nothing else to give this game. Are you following me? That's the way you should be living life. Huh? Now you done left it all here on the earth when it's time done. You get it? And that's how I make an approach to something. I always try to make sure I'm learning something. Learning something. You follow me? And I ain't seen an example like that young man like it in a long time. Like this young man right here, Brother Brett. He's a damn good example of the exact way I used to be at his age. He can do almost any damn thing. And he applies himself to learn and continue to keep learning. Are you following me? He know how to be a good mechanic until he got out there and started doing it. Are you following me? You want to tap shit, but you don't want to fix a damn thing. No, for real. I'm just talking about how sorry some of you are. You're literally just sorry as shit. And it's bad. I can't say that man is not wasting his life. He'll be 15 degrees and he'll still be in that shop fixing what the saints done tore up. And he never murmurs, never complains. Are you following me? And then at that, he turns around to apply himself to learn how to play bass and learn almost every song we got. Then he turns around and says, you know what, I can start a business for Israel. What can I do? He turns around and starts doing the guns and making holsters and stuff. He's applying himself. No excuses. None whatsoever at all. And then when he's consummated, he's married, now his wife is going to have a business to manage. To help, you see what I mean? And he's on a community. Are y'all hearing it? Yes, sir. About applying yourself. Don't love the easy way. Y'all hearing me? Yes, do not love the easy way. Consider the ant, thou sluggard. You follow me? And the community heads and home and fellowship heads. The community is only going to go as you go. You can have hopes and dreams, but hopes and dreams don't build this. Are you following me? Hard work and dedication builds it. You can have a vision, but this vision will perish without your hand. You get it? Y'all's going to bless the labors of your hand. You'll find out. You get it? You'll find out. Well, I'm not a builder. I ain't been called to that. I wasn't called to it either. You get it? If you be first willing and obedient, then you eat the good of the land. Start applying yourself, Israel. I have one more back here, and we're going to call it, brothers. Steve-O. And Steve-O, you need to lose some damn weight. I told you that last year, too.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Don't come here like that again.
Yes, sir.
Lose some damn weight. Now, see, that's love. But y'all don't call it love. Because if he don't end up losing weight, he's going to end up being a liability to the community. Are you following me? Go ahead with your question.
Yes, sir, Pastor. You mentioned something the other night about get deliverance from your wife.
Getting deliverance from?
Your wife.
Yes.
Of the spirit of rejection. And I can speak for myself. I never got deliverance from my wife. And it's like, what kind of mindset is that to be able to get deliverance from your wife and receive deliverance from your wife?
Well, first of all, we were down there in Georgia, and there wasn't nobody else around. So she's next up. Are you getting it? Oh, you get it? I mean, I'm dealing with this spirit and meditating on it. So you know what? I need to go ahead and get this thing out now. I'm good to go. I know how to meet the conditions. It's not a requirement that you get deliverance from your wife. Are you following me? I'm just telling you what I've done. Are you following me? And believe me, she was scared as shit. She didn't want to. She didn't want to at all because, I mean, she seen mass deliverance, seen manifestations, and she's looking at me and her little bitty self here. Oh, no. And she already got them big eyes, too. And she's like, oh, boy. I said, don't worry about it. I'll tell you what, doing the most out here, he'll help you out here. And, boy, she got into it. Boy, she was tenacious, too. She was on top of me. Come out! Down in the name of Jesus. Boy, she got that thing out, too. And when it was over with, she said, oh, thank you. Oh, thank you, Father. Oh, gee, thank you, Father. Because I don't know what in the world. Whoa, what have they done? Because, I mean, I made it to the flow. And when I came back, who remember when I came back here straightway? And it didn't look like I got in a fight with Evander Holyfield. My eyes all swole up and puffed up. And I was like, man, that's one of the most violent deliverances I ever had. That was one of the most violent deliverances I ever had. Sure did. All our guys look at me like, yeah. I'm like, are you looking or are you manifesting? But I keep saying, if I can get deliverance, damn it, I know you can get deliverance. Well, we don't never see you getting deliverance because you wasn't around when we first started. Did you have something? Go ahead. Give me that mic real quick. This last one.
Yes, sir. Bless you, Pastor. I just wanted to piggyback off of Brother Steve-O with, can you just elaborate a little bit more on the importance of deliverance and eating clean and drinking clean and things like that? Because we're coming out of her. But when we leave here, because we come here and we eat, and we eat well, we eating clean, but then when we go back to the world, we eating all of the stuff that we're not supposed to be putting in our bodies. And then when we go back to our homes, we're not performing the deliverances and teaching things like that in our homes the way we should. Can you just elaborate on the importance of that in your home as a father and as a leader in your home fellowship?
Discipline. Be disciplined. Y'all hear me? I told you, don't take the easy way. It's easy to sin. It's easy to take the discipline. Your home is only going to go as you go. You have to do deliverance. If you don't, you're going to stink. You know, you already, come on, the heart knows its own bitterness. You already know who you are and what yes, you do. Yes, you do. You know. And if you don't do it, you ever hear me on Blog Talk Radio play them old deliverances from way back 2001, 2002, 2000? Guess where that happened at? Right here. With a bunch of people who were living sanctified, living holy, living set apart. We were so full of damn demons. But today, you ain't got none. We was doing it on the tabernacles, husbands casting demons out of their wife in the homes and on the land here. We was doing it all over the place, but y'all, I'm amazed how y'all are so exempt from devils. I'm just amazed how I'll so exempt y'all from that. Nobody, you don't have no issues, no nothing. It's utterly amazing to me. Yet I'm the pastor and I got to get demons cast out of me. I got to be the most wicked man on the face planet Earth. I know the reason why. Because these demons already done use reverse psychology only and done punked you out and pulled your punk card and done let pride insulate yourself. And so therefore you've already done counted all that. You don't really need it. Oh, I got my mind. Your mind ain't no stronger than mine. You follow me? So we start rationalizing our mind. Well, I can think and I can correct this and I'm good to go. Good. But what happens if it comes back up again? You done corrected it once and now you got to correct the same thing again? Or what do? Just ignore it? You don't do deliverance, especially, and your wives, they're not going to be motivated and your family's not going to be motivated to get any deliverance if they don't see you. They ain't gonna do it. For what? For what? So y'all leave pride out in the world. It goes for destruction and the Holy Spirit before a fall, but stay humble, stay meek, stay hungry. Discipline. You give your word, you commit yourself, you're gonna do something, damn it, do it. And don't make no excuses for it. Just do it. And then you'll start improving as a man. Are you following me? Become doers of the word. Become doers of the word. You hear a lot, but become doers. All right, Israel? All right, thank y'all for coming.
Praise y'all, saints. We need the security team to stay. Everybody else, y'all can leave. We need the security team to stay real quick. So if you're not on the security team, go ahead and exit out. Bless y'all. Kansas City, stay too. Kansas City.